So we're going to start right out with Aneesa Waheed, and she had a big article in the paper. Well, big. It's big enough, right?
Yes.
Any press is good.
Any press.
And yes, and this is about her new spa that's coming up. But we're going to be talking about her restaurant, how she got started. How'd you get started? When I read your background, oh my goodness, tell our viewers.
So my background's in print and publishing. And
Yeah,
that's
well,
what I was
obviously.
doing. Yeah, obviously. Translates really well to cooking, right? But I always wanted to have a business, start a business, do some sort of an entrepreneurial thing. And about 10, 12 years ago, Schenectady was going through a resurgence.
Oh, yes.
And when my family moved from India, we had originally moved to Schenectady. So I been in this area, and my family's been here for a good 25 years. So I
And
left.
your parents are in the business as well.
Yes, my parents are also in the restaurant business. So I left New York City. I moved back home, basically, and then I started looking for opportunities of some sort of business that I could do here. And I think when you and I met years ago, many, many, many years ago, it was because I had this store right here on the Proctor's block. So we started out with a store selling imports from India.
Beautiful items. They're gorgeous items.
And Morocco. And from the store, we started to get a lot of queries about Moroccan food. And, I started a booth at the farmers market.
Well, Moroccan, how does India and Morocco come together?
It comes together because I met a boy.
And there he is back there.
Handsome boy. Well, so I went to Morocco on a vacation with some girlfriends, and I met Muntasim, who's my now husband, on that trip. And incidentally, he's not Moroccan either. He's from Pakistan, but was living and working in Morocco.
I love international stuff.
And, it just so happened that not only did I meet this great guy, but I just fell in love with the food, the culture, and subsequently I've spent many days and months in Morocco. So when we were thinking about doing food, this is about 10 years ago, we thought, why not do something that's different and unique to this area?
Yeah.
Because as you mentioned, my parents have and own a Indian restaurant.
Yes, exactly.
Which is great.
Very good.
Very good, Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
And so we thought, why not do something different? And no one 10 years ago was doing Moroccan food in upstate. So that's really how we started doing the Moroccan
And I had
cuisine.
never had Moroccan food until I came to your restaurant. And oh
Right.
my God, it's amazing. I love your olives. Oh my God.
Yeah, and Moroccan food obviously has a lot of influence from the Mediterranean diet. It has a lot of influence from many different cultures, Spanish and African, and it just is such a great melting pot of flavors. And talking about pots, I also love the way they cook in tagines, which is a really easy.
Can I pick it up?
Yeah, absolutely. So these little pots are called tagines, and what you make in them are stews, which are also called tagines. So in theory, you could make a tagine without having the pot. And the idea is you put all your ingredients in here, your seasonings, your salt, your waters, your oil. You put the lid on and let it slow simmer. So it kind of simmers and simmers.
Well, it kind of steams.
Yeah. It steams inside because the idea is there's no vent in here, right?
Yeah, I see no vent at all.
When the steam goes up, it's got nowhere to go. It kind of comes back down in the form of water, and that kind of really is what is cooking your food, and it gives you amazing texture. It gives you really good, mixing of the flavors. So I love the idea of cooking in a one-pot kind of dish, and so it makes it not only easy to cook at home this way, but it was also a really good way to translate this cooking into a restaurant, which, this is what we do all the time.
Now, I know that you're famous for your sauces.
Yeah.
Now, people love to use sauces, but most of the time they're not quite sure how to use them.
Right.
And do you just take a chicken and throw the sauce on, or
Yeah.
What I mean, how? And you, it's not just one sauce; you have a number of them. So
yeah, I kind of randomly came up with the number 10 and said I'm going to make 10 sauces.
you're gonna make 10 sauces. Okay.
It sounded like a good round figure years ago. And the reason for the sauces really was people were eating the food at the restaurant. And like I said, all the tagines are stews, so they have a really good liquid that you can dip bread and rice and eat it with. And
I love
people would
my mouth is watering.
just thinking about it. So people would constantly ask me, how do we do this at home? And although Moroccan cuisine can be easy, and but it still requires a lot of ingredients that most of us don't have in our home. So at the same time, that
the sauces come out,
the customers were asking me for ideas on how they could replicate some tagines at home. I had some local stores that said, especially the Niskuna Food Co-op, who have been great supporters of us, that if you have a sauce that's Moroccan, we could put it on the shelves.
You can make anything Moroccan.
Yeah, and also there's no Moroccan sauce in the market. So it was, we were...
Oh, so you did a little
so
background study.
We did something that was new and unique also for the grocery market. And the idea with the sauces was we created something that has a lot of flavor, has every ingredient that you possibly need to make a tagine, and all you need to do is, you put your protein, your vegetables, whatever you want to cook into a pot, whether it's a tagine or just a pot at home, and then
it could be a slow cooker, maybe.
A slow cooker, or a nice cast iron pot with a lid on it.
I love cast iron.
And then you can use any one of our sauces right on top of it, and let the protein and veggies
what is
cook.
the difference in the sauces? I mean, a sauce is a sauce is a sauce?
No, a sauce is not a sauce. They're all very different flavored. We have parsley shamula, which is kind of like a basil pesto. It's fresh, it's herby, it's tangy, and we have an apricot prune, which actually won an international award a couple years ago at the Jacob Javits Center, which is a sweet and tangy, very reminiscent of some of the flavors that you find in Morocco, but we've been able to distill that into a nice, strong flavored sauce. So the idea is you have all these different flavors, from sweet to spicy to savory. We have something called a tomato jam, which I believe is here. And this is so versatile. I use it at home. I use it to make pasta for the kids.
So what would you do with that?
So I have a little a pizza here. You can top that with the tomato jam. Throw some cheese on it, stick it in the oven for 7 to 8 minutes, and you have like a quick meal for the kids.
Oh, that's great.
My kids love it on their pasta as well. And the good thing about all these sauces is they're all natural, they're preservative free, they're gluten free, they're dairy free, they're sesame free. So they're really, and with tons of flavor.
No peanuts?
So no peanuts. Yeah, so they're very good for people with kids who have
allergy,
allergies or with with any kind of allergies.
And how do kids like the sauces?
They love it.
Yeah.
My daughter is constantly asking me to make lamb with tomato shamula, and she's constantly wanting to bring it to school to share it with the teachers. She's already a sales girl.
Good for her.
At 5 years old. No, they love it. And when I was creating and designing the sauce, I was thinking not only about bringing Moroccan flavors, but I also wanted to do stuff that I, as a mom and as a consumer, want to use.
Exactly.
So sometimes when you buy ready-made sauce, what I would find is it just didn't hit the mark. You'd buy an Indian, chicken curry sauce, but it didn't have enough flavor where I would still have to
You're still adding a little bit to it, yeah.
But we've taken that away from the house person with these sauces, where they're just so strong and powerful that you don't need to even add salt to it.
So the sauces are available at a number of stores?
Yeah, all the local Price Choppers.
You sell it at Terra Kitchen?
We sell it at Terra Kitchen, of course. Amazon, Whole Foods. We're in the Northeast region all the way up to the Canadian border. And every year...
So you had a market that wasn't...
Yeah, it wasn't there, and we're definitely trying to grow and expand this more and more, because, like I said, no one really creates a line of sauces the way we do. So,
and I can't believe publishing.
Yeah, I know.
You're
so
amazing.
Apparently, I found my passion, much later.
But you're
life.
spreading out now. You're doing a spa. What is that? A Moroccan spa.
So this is how I grow my business. I do stuff that I like to do.
You just get these ideas. Amazing.
Well, so I did Moroccan food because I love Moroccan food and I love to cook. And more than anything,
spas.
and I'm an entrepreneur, so I wanted to. It's not so much that we're doing a spa as much as we're bringing a very unique cultural experience to the region. And what it is called a hammam.
And where's that going to be?
It's going to be at 204 Lafayette, right around the corner.
Oh, right
from
here.
here.
Okay, right nearby.
And the idea is in Morocco and some of the other Arab countries and Russia and Eastern Europe and all of the even in Far East countries like Korea, Thailand, the concept of a bathhouse, a common place where people go hang out, spend an afternoon, converse and also do this whole cleansing purification process has been around for thousands of years. And of course in Morocco they do it in a very specific way. There's a hot room, a cold room, a steam room, and you go through these 3 really good cleansing process, and when you come out of it you feel reborn. Yeah, completely reborn. There's a full body exfoliation, and every time I go to Morocco, that's one of the first things I want to do is to get off the plane, check out, and then go to a hammam.
Oh, okay.
So I thought, as we're thinking about growing and expanding our business portfolio, I thought.
And there's nothing like that. I mean, this is like you're hitting the mark on everything.
Well, I hope so, and it's. I feel very passionate about this project, and I feel that this is something that's going to be really unique. And I love Schenectady, right? I love downtown Schenectady, and I've spent the spent the past decade watching it grow and being part of that growth. And I think that having a truly unique product like either our restaurant or the spa is going to attract more people from outside the region to come to Schenectady, which kind of benefits not just us, but of course, the entire community. So we did a lot of research. There are not a lot of hammams around. There are a couple places in the city that offer
Probably you have to go to New York City for that.
New York City, Boston, and then I got together with a developer who's doing some great work in downtown, and Jeff Buell. And
well, Jeff has the Foster building. He's done a beautiful job there. Yeah,
amazing stuff. So Jeff loved the concept, and he and I looked at a space that was so ideal. That's what we've been working on. So the idea is you're going to come, and our hammams are going to be private hammams. So you'll be able to just come in for either personal treatment or with a friend or a spouse. And it's a hot room where you'll get a full body exfoliation. And there's a black soap which comes from Morocco, but this is a version that I make myself at the restaurant.
What don't you make?
Well, if it makes you feel better, I can't balance my checkbook. I can't. So I figured out how to make this soap, which was so cool and interesting. And so this is a very special soap that helps with exfoliation and just general aches and pains. So the attendant will apply the soap on the body. You get a scrub. You get a full body mask and then an oil rub down, and the whole treatment takes about 45 minutes.
Is that all? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So because you're sitting in this room that's about 100, 110 degrees, you don't want to be there forever. And then we'll have a space that you can go relax in and get a light bite to eat. So in the lobby of the hammam, we're also going to have a tapas and champagne bar, which will have some small plates. And
how cool.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. It'll be a great gathering place. So both of them will kind of operate independent of each other as well. So if you wanted to just meet some friends and hang out at Lotus, which is what the tapas bar is called, you could do that.
When is it going to open?
We're all, hoping and shooting for early spring, but as construction goes, and we're building something that's never been built before. So we're working with contractors who haven't done this. We're working with HVAC and electric people, because to heat a room to that temperature in our area is very, very difficult, as I have found out the past 6 months of research. I just thought you flipped a switch.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way, huh?
It doesn't work that way. So we went to Morocco to try and understand how these hammams are built, and we came back, and the way they build them is so incredible. They have like 7 layers of fire basically going around a room, and we came back and we're like, nah, well, we can't have 7 layers of fire going through a building in downtown Schenectady. So we have to figure out a more modern approach of how to do this. So that's what we've been working on. And we have some great ideas. We've connected with people at GE and Union and even RPI. Like, I've been talking to the engineering students.
You have got everybody involved in this project.
Everyone's involved, yes, because we're all trying to figure out. I mean, look, we're the electric city, right? We lit the world, so I think we can build a hammam, and that's sort of my my theory on this. That I don't think it's insurmountable. We're smart, and we should be able to do it. So I think we can do it.
That'll work out well. Well, we have only a few more minutes, so I don't know whether you want to show us a little bit of how to use some of these sauces.
Yeah, so harissa, which is a North African chili paste, a very popular Moroccan hot sauce in Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, that part of the world, is extremely versatile and probably one of our #1 selling items. So it's sweet, it's spicy, it's garlicky. So you can use it not only in cooking to sort of spice things up, but you can make spreads and dips with it. Like, for example, I have a little bit of mayonnaise over here, and we're going to
using it as a base.
Yeah, as a base, and you can do that with cheese. You could do that really with, and then we'll kind of mix it up, and this makes a super delicious spread for sandwiches, or if you have some cheese in here, you can heat it up and put it on nachos, right? So the super easy way, multi-use.
Well, you know what I gotta do?
Yeah, you gotta dip it and eat it.
I gotta try it.
Absolutely. Careful. Spicy.
That is wonderful.
Do we have some water on set?
That is wonderful. Oh my God, that's wonderful.
So I will give you some parsley chermoula to try as well. So the parsley chermoula is really good with fish. And you can take some parsley chermoula, a foil, some fish, tomatoes, and just bake it, and you're done, right? It's literally...
This would be wonderful on top of a sole or something.
Yeah, absolutely. So very, very easy and
breakfast.
Versatile to use. Like I said, with the what I do with the pizza bases, and you can do that on a pita bread, or you can do it on, we just take a little bit of jam, spread it around.
Almost like a tomato paste.
That's it. It's like a really great, all natural. I mean, when I feed my kids, I'm constantly thinking about no chemicals, right?
Right.
Even if it's a food preservative, there are lots of food preservatives that we're not supposed to be eating. So I try to feed them as much of this stuff as I can. And you just take this and you top it off with some cheese or some veggies and bake it. And
it's very good.
Super easy meal.
Yep.
We also have some vegetables. Like I said, you could pour any one of these sauces on top of it.
Steam them together.
Steam them, and you have a great meal.
Well, we're out of time almost, but I'm going to ask that when you pull a table off, pull it that way so some of the people can taste some of the good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be great. This is an amazing, this is a great restaurant. I mean, I don't usually give big endorsements, but I love your food. I have to say that. Every time you go, and what's really fun is it's great to go with a group and you all kind of taste each other's
and
dishes.
Share different things.
It's just wonderful, and I love your use of chickpeas
we're
and stuff.
We're constantly trying to, we want to do Moroccan food, but we're constantly trying to bring new ingredients and new ideas to our food that normally people would not have the opportunity to try.
And who would have thought Schenectady with a Moroccan restaurant?
And it's
I tell everybody
great.
that you're always busy.
Yes.
And I love your back with your deck and stuff.
The community has been so amazing in supporting us.
So I want to thank you so much, Aneesa, for being on and
Absolutely.
sharing all this wonderful, that mayonnaise. Oh my God, that's delicious. Thank you.